People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Hello everyone, I know it's been a while since my last video, but I had this spark of inspiration that I wanted to turn it into something bigger. As you can see by the title of this video, I attempted to complete Fallout 3 with every projectile being a missile. Now you might be wondering what the hell that means. In Fallout 3's code, a bullet fired from a 10mm gun, for example, has code telling it how fast to move, how accurate it can be, and what it sounds like or looks like. I went ahead and changed all the bullets fired from all the weapons of the game and turned them into missiles. Missiles in Fallout 3, as you have seen by the gameplay already, can be very hard to aim, and even harder when outdoors. You gotta really aim for the ground around the raider you're aiming at. With that explanation out of the way, let's start the challenge. I start off by being born in the Jefferson Memorial, chose the name Natasha, and didn't do much customization of my face, just the default settings. Fast forwarding a year later, I started assigning my special points. I have no idea how this mod will work, or what would be the best way to assign special points. I dumped charisma and perception, maxed out endurance, luck and intelligence, and left strength and agility at 5. Jumping ahead many years, I get the Pip-Boy at my 10th birthday party, and didn't do anything strange this time like change everyone's gender or size. Before I knew it, it was time to kill the large roach in the basement. The BB gun, just like everything else, shoots missiles. What surprised me though, is all the targets gain damage at the same time. I also may have knocked out my father a few times and put myself into an early grave. With the roach dead and my father conscious again, I fast forward 6 more years into the future. After my father is done checking me for lice, I'm making my way to the classroom to decide my future in the vault. That's very boring. I just rigged the test results in my favor, but not before beating the crap out of Butch. After nearly a quarter of an hour passed, the escape quest can finally be started. That 15-minute long intro is something I never want to do again. With full control of my character, I am given my primary weapon and other supplies to help escape. I annihilate almost every security guard on my path and reach the vault door. I refrain from killing the overseer and everyone else in the room where Amada is being interrogated. Out into the wasteland for the first time in months, I'll make a beeline straight for Megaton. Something hilarious happens when I first arrive though. A raider, whom I've never seen before, tries to attack Megaton and Stockholm, the guard on the balcony, not only targets the raider, but also Doc Hoff's caravan. I don't have many mods this time, but I think the unofficial patch for Fallout 3 adds back in some cut content. I can't tell you for certain, but I believe this raider is from that mod. Once inside Megaton proper, I snag the bobblehead from Lucas Sims' house and make my way to the Moriarty Saloon. I did mention it earlier, but my first level up allowed me to pick the Black Widow perk, giving me a chance to end things peacefully between Mr. Burke and Megaton. With him gone, I head over to my favorite character in the game, Moira Brown. Is it just me, or does she look different? Her eyes seem smaller, probably from that mod again. I, for reasons I don't even understand, like doing the Wasteland Survival Guide for Moira. It's always funny how she reacts to each part of the guide. The first order of business is to clear out the super duper mega mart and find food and medicine. This was harder than I expected. I thought I could just blow up the raider with ease, but getting into combat for the first time was not at all easy. This one raider outside had a Chinese pistol but was stupid accurate with the shots. I died several times trying to get inside the door. Inside, I was very distracted with one shopping cart that kept turning invisible whenever it stopped moving. I also made the shocking realization that shotguns actually shoot more than one projectile. I didn't realize this when making the mod, but crazy to see 8 or so missiles all flying right towards me. More fighting and many more deaths later, I acquired the supplies Moira wanted and started back to Megaton. On the roof in Megaton, Jericho is saying words I've never heard him say before. This has got to be cut dialogue. Once again, probably from the unofficial patch of play. The next, let's say 30 minutes was me clearing out Springvale's elementary school of raiders and ants. I don't think I died that much, at least not until I quick saved right before a raider fired a rocket into my face. At some point though, I cranked the difficulty from normal to very hard because killing everything in one shot seemed too easy. Sometime later I end up in a scrapyard where Dogmeat can be found. Dogmeat has to be my second favorite character in Fallout 3, but also my first pick overall. Who doesn't love a good dog character in a game? With Dogmeat by my side, we travel aimlessly, eventually making our way to the minefield. For some reason, Arkansas never fired at me, which is strange because he usually kills me on sight. It may be because I shot at him first, just like we're 1v1 in Rust. By now, Dogmeat and I have probably searched the houses for any valuable loot and made our way back to Moira. After handing over a landmine to her, we complete the first chapter of the survival guide and start chapter 2. This chapter has me go out to the tepid sewers to pacify some mole rats. However, on my way to the sewers, I had a thought. How in the ever-loving fuck will I make it through Vault 87 if every super mutant has a gun? I don't plan on using any cheats or exploits this time, and I'll need as many stim packs if I want to have a slim chance of making it through alive. Speaking of super mutants, I encountered some on my way to the sewers. One has a minigun. Hopefully I don't have to explain why that's detrimental to my health. After dying several times, I eventually acquire the minigun and make my way to a certain special someone. I ready my minigun and fire away. I sent her body flying to the moon. I don't know how to fit this in, but I met a scavenger who kept pulling out and holstering his weapon. Found that really odd.
Get away from that. Finders keepers. I'm warning you.
Since I was in the area, I decided to clear out the memorial, and it wasn't as bad as I expected. Super mutants can go down with only a few shots and very hard. So far, this is far easier than I expected. I got lost longer than it took to clear out the area. When heading to my next objective, I noticed that Dukov was target practicing in front of his palace. I found it strange because it must be pretty cold out in the wasteland at night, but also he wasn't taking any damage, nor was his companions. It was quite loud though. I turned my headphones down. Finally, inside the tepid sewers proper, I pulled out my stick that Moira dipped in green paint and started thwacking the mole rats with it. I eventually killed all 7, but not before I found rock salt. And after ending rock salt, I snatched his key, looted his belongings, and made my way back outside. Also, here are my stats since I haven't showed them yet. Once outside, I get jumped by a group of Talon Company mercs. I'm not entirely sure why they're after me. I have not even touched the bomb in Megaton. I think Mr. Burke has something to do with it, but I figured the Black Widow perk took care of that already. I guess I was mistaken. After a brutal battle between the would-be mercs and myself, I eventually make my way back to the Anchorage Memorial to see if the Mirelurks are intelligent beings. Not being able to attack them was infuriating but still doable. I kept trying to outrun them, but they are somehow able to open doors. After a few deaths, I managed to find the egg nest, jam the device in, and get out of there, completing the optional objective yet again. I may have skipped over it, but I also dosed myself with heavy radiation and broke a few of my bones for Moira at some point. After some back and forth with her, I learned that I needed to figure out the true history of Rivet City. This took for fucking ever. I needed to find the right person to tell me to go to Pinkerton so I could then convince the old man to give me the archives and the true origins of the city. I won't bore you with too much video, but just know it took 30 minutes of aimless wandering like I am the fucking Weekend in the House of Mirrors. Now at the Robco Robotics facility, I noticed that Tenpenny was firing at the birds, causing his rockets to fly off into the atmosphere. This is the part I was dreading. I have to go inside the facility and find the mainframe. For some reason this was far easier than I expected, due in large part to the fact that for some reason my mod broke here. The laser turrets never shot missiles and neither did a lot of the protectrons. So what could have been a disaster wasn't actually that bad at all. Back to Megaton again, I briefly conversed with Moira and headed straight for the library. I'm so glad I was collecting pre-war books this entire time because once I got there the payday was huge. 900 caps for 9 books. God damn. After another 15 to 30 minutes of getting lost in the library, I made it back to Moira and finished the book. Since I was here, I decided to finally get the whereabouts of my father from Moriarty and buy some stim packs since I'm fresh out. At some point afterwards, I decided to steal a Declaration of Independence.
Yes?
I don't think it was worth it to be completely honest though. After fighting my way through the underground subway tunnels, I got stuck in the trenches real bad. So bad that Dogmeat actually died. I didn't realize he could even do that. The last time I checked, he had over 2,000 hit points. Eventually I did make it to the National Archive with Dogmeat still by my side as I was forced to reload an older save. While inside the building, I decided to take the long way to the document, passing through all sorts of rooms with super mutants of varying type. From room to room I annihilate each mutant, dying oh so many times in the process. I became acutely aware that line of sight plays a big role in how missiles actually damage. If I were a few degrees off, the missiles would fly right past them and not do any damage at all. Remember, I'm still playing him very hard. I eventually find the lift that Sydney would take if I ever met her. Even further underground, I find 2 laser turrets that don't do anything. Probably because they're not programmed to shoot missiles. With the bill of rights acquired, I venture onto their documents. When conversing with Bud and Gwyneth, I managed to succeed the 6% speech check on the second try. Making my way outside, I immediately fast travel back to Rivet City to sell the documents to Abraham Washington. His reaction to seeing the documents pleases me greatly. While in Rivet City, I want to complete the replicated man quest. This quest does not finish easily. I wander around trying to find the lady who gives me the Corsa chip. I have the active quest, but for some reason, what's her name never shows up. I don't even talk to Madison Lee to start the rest of the game for some reason. I just fast travel away and start looking for Three Dog. The long walk to Three Dog was long and boring. I tend to find random things to do when I have these long walks to certain locations. For example, failing several times to activate the subway steward robot. I do eventually succeed in doing so. However, back outside in Chevy Chase is a war zone. I should have stayed in the tunnels. Supermutants versus Cat Club battling out with rapid-fire missile launchers. I do eventually make it to Galaxy News Radio though, and after conversing with Three Dog, he sends me off to fix the radio dish on top of the Washington Monument. I probably don't need to say it, but I will do so anyway. Guess what I found in the Museum of Technology? More Supermutants. It's getting harder and harder to explain the same thing every time. I died a minimum 10 times trying to reach previously described radio dish. After reaching said dish, I take the elevator to the top of the monument and reinstall the dish. You might be surprised to hear this, but guess where our Three Dog sends me next? Did you take a wild guess? If you said Rivet City, you'd be correct. So that was a giant waste of time. Guess I should have just walked straight to Casey's garage and met up with my father. Back again in Rivet City for probably the 3rd or 4th time, I meet up with Dr. Lee. Is it just me or does she look really old? I never noticed that before. Either way, I realized I never found the tape my father left for me, so Lee will never follow me to the Jefferson Memorial. In fact, as of writing this right now, I realize I have little under 5 hours of footage and never once met my father. In fact, the reason this video took so damn long is because I stopped recording on December 19th, Jesus, and picked up Skyrim again. I have double the hours in Skyrim in half the time. After fast traveling to the Robco facility, I make a beeline towards the garage to meet up with my father. Finally arriving at the garage, I waste no time and get inside one of the loungers. Not wanting to deal with Betty, I race towards the abandoned house. It takes me longer than it should have to figure out the right sequence to activate the failsafe. I shouldn't be surprised to see that the Chinese commandos fire missiles too. Now back outside, I waste little time and fast travel back to Rivet City. We've been here before, so I'm just going to skip over all the dialogue and pick back up once the Enclave arrived. The only noteworthy thing that happens is Colonel Autumn decides to fight the scientist instead of just shooting her. The utility tunnel fight went about as smoothly as you expect from someone playing on hard with missiles for bullets. If you expected it to go horribly, nah, it wasn't actually that bad. None of the scientists died and I gave Garza 5 stim packs to make it through to the Citadel. Finally, inside the Citadel, I aimlessly wander the halls looking for Paladin Gunny so he can give me power armor training. One misclick later, killing everyone in the room, I meet back up with Scribe Rothschild to get the location of Vault AE7. I'll say it again, I have no idea why I decided to follow the main questline as closely as I did. Even when I had 28% speech check, I failed it once and just decided to rescue the kids from Paradise Falls. So yeah, that's where I'm heading next. I raid my shotgun and start blasting away into the old shopping mall. Eventually I managed to clear out all the slavers and free the slaves being held captive. I had plenty of stimpack to spare, so it wasn't all that bad. I even raided the medical building of supplies and probably gained back all the stimpacks used in the chaos. Now, after all this wasted time, I can finally get the damn gek. This was the moment I was dreading a few paragraphs ago, and honestly, it wasn't even that bad. With plenty of ammo for my assault rifle and plenty of stimpacks, Dogmeat, Paladin Cross, and I entered the vault, blasting into every door that opened up. Further into the labs, I tried to only release Fox, but all I could do was kill him, which is not what I wanted to do at all. Flipping on the fire alarm, I released all the locks on every cell door, freeing Fox. I was praying he wouldn't die in the process of getting the gek. While waiting for Fox to get his ass to the gek, I got food. Turns out he got stuck or something because he just stood there until I got close to him. Realizing my mistake, I follow oh so slowly behind Fox until he retrieves the gek. With the Gek finally in my hands, I go to exit the vault only for the Enclave to ambush me. We've been here before, so let's just skim through this. The battle to leave the base wasn't too hard, and near the end I even got a Gatling laser. I easily convinced the President to destroy the bunker and make my way outside. With the Gek stolen and the Enclave at the Purifier, I fast travel back to the Citadel to tell Elder Lions of my failures. Not much happens on the way to the Purifier. Liberty Prime doesn't even get stuck, and the game doesn't even crash. Inside the Purifier for the last time, I swiftly end Colonel Autumn and tell Fox to get inside and enter the code. Proving yes, you can beat Fallout 3 while every projectile is a missile. Hey guys, NoPop here. This video took a lot longer than I expected. I was hoping to get it out by Christmas, but that didn't happen. I started on December 15th and just finished it January 8th. So hopefully this video goes up today. And I really do appreciate you watching this video. I put a lot of effort into this one this time. And I'll definitely have more challenges runs in the future. Just gotta let me know what you want to see. Anyway, please subscribe, like the video, comment, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.